What is the benefit of Trump's tariffs to a U.S. citizen? That's a question I'd like to ask you, Cal, and our audience. What is the actual benefit?
Well, supposedly,
Well, one of the comparisons I like to use, and maybe this is an eye-opener to people, if I have a store on one side of the street and there's a store on the other side of the street, but it's a different marketing zone and they're not allowed to come and buy from my store, and the merchant walks across the street and says, hey, I'm going to buy all your goods from you, and I want to reduce price. And you go, well, why would you want to buy all my goods? Sure, I'll sell it to you. And he's laughing, well, I'm going to tax you for these goods because my customers can't buy from you directly. So I'm going to take all your goods and walk across the street to my store, and I'm going to put a 50% tax on the goods, and my customers are going to buy that, and I'm going to tell them that you put the tax on it, and they'll say, well, why aren't you doing a better deal? Oh, I'm in negotiations, but you're buying the goods for 50% more. And that storefront individual just made money off of that deal and that transaction. And the point I'm trying to make is, as a country, it's the same as having a store. We've got goods that are in demand, and then you've got a country saying, no. Our consumers, the citizens that vote us into power, want to pay more for your goods because we need the goods, but we're going to put a tariff on you of 50%. We're going to tell the voters that that price was set by you, and they're going to blame you for the higher prices because you are the problem. And whether that's legal or not doesn't really matter, because it's going to benefit the businessmen that are running that country, that put the individuals in power. Because let's face it, folks, it costs millions of dollars to elect a person into power in the United States. You can't just walk in and put your name on a ballot. You have to have millions and millions backing you to pay for the advertising to get elected. And those wealthy people are the only place you can get that money. So, of course, the wealthy want to prosper. So what happens is, and you see it in the United States, Trump is now saying, oh, look at us, we put these tariffs on, and the Supreme Court said, no, that's illegal. And he goes, who cares? Because all the money goes back to the businessman that paid for his election. So they benefited from the transaction. And the money going back isn't going back to the pockets of the taxpayer that paid the money in the United States. So it's a great grift. And that's why nobody wants to act on stopping the tariff negotiations that Trump is throwing around as a weapon of war. And that's something that people have to really pay attention to. How does this benefit corporate America? And I can tell you how it benefits. If a tariff goes on, the price of the goods goes up. So let's say you put a 50% tariff on a dollar item. So now it's $1.50. Well, the cash flow through that corporation just increased. And we know that the stock market, when you have higher cash flow, increases the stock price of your shares in your corporation. So public companies benefit from the higher cash flow, even though they got to pay the tax out of their cash flow. It shows larger volume going through the bank account. And that benefits them in their stock prices, in their leverage at the bank, because now they can borrow more money to do other investments because they have higher cash flow, even though they have higher debt. But it works in their favor as a corporation. Then when they know it's probably going to be illegal and struck down, they benefit from all the tax going back to their bank account. So it's a win-win for all the corporations in the United States, and that's why they're backing Trump and his tariff wars.
Subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and please share the video. Don't be afraid to share this commercial with your friends too.